There were no supplements in this journey. There was no miracle product. If you're looking for a shortcut or a product to buy, this is not the video for you. This was about leaving my hair alone. Hi! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Nuri. I make natural hair content about length retention, protective styles, and anything else I want. So if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing. It's free and it will really help my channel. If you're returning, welcome back. I just want to say thank you really quickly for all the love on my last two videos. I'm so excited that you guys like my content, and I'm even more excited to keep making it. In today's video, I'm finally going to be talking about how exactly I grew my hair from chin length to tailbone length in 2 years. I've divided this video into two sections. The first section is going to be a brief overview of my natural hair journey, which I think is important context because it will show you the mistakes that I've made and why for the first 7 years of me doing my hair, I couldn't figure it out. I started doing my own hair when I was like 13 and I'm 23 now, so I've made a lot of mistakes, but in the last 3 years, I really feel like I've figured out how to take care of my hair, and it's definitely showing. Then after that, I'll get into the exact things that I think did that grew my hair. I do just want to say before I start talking that I'm not a hairstylist. These are just things that have worked for my hair. Always listen to your scalp and your hair. If it's telling you that it doesn't like something, you'll know. Here are my hair stats, because I know you're gonna ask. And without further ado, let's get started. And so we're going to start this journey in 6th grade when I got a texturizer. If you don't know what a texturizer is, it's basically a relaxer, but instead of making your hair completely straight, it just makes it a looser curl. I don't know if I have any pictures of it, but if I do, I'll put it in. All I know is that it looked really bad. I would not recommend. I was getting my texturizer consistently for about 2 years until in 8th grade I was inspired by the natural hair movement, the OG natural hair movement, and I did my first big chop. From 8th grade all the way to my high school graduation, I was a child of YouTube. I was listening to everybody else talk about how they took care of their hair. So I was mostly doing wash and goes. I was trying a lot of different products. I did slick backs, and I did mini braids occasionally. And then 4 years later at my high school graduation, this is how long my hair was. As you can see, it definitely grew, but it didn't grow that much, especially for 4 years. After my high school graduation, I was going to college, and I knew that I did not want to spend my Sundays washing my hair in the communal bathrooms, so I started learning how to do protective styles, literally on YouTube, and I got pretty good at that. And then the summer after my freshman year of college, I did another big chop. To this day, I really don't know why I did that. I think I was just stressed and I took it out on my hair. After that big chop, I continued with my protective styles. I was predominantly doing Marley twists because they were so easy and fast to install and take down. I could do them in my dorm, no problem, and I could reuse the hair. But I also did do knotless braids, and then I did faux locks quite a few times. I would wear my protective styles for about 3 months, then I would take it down, and I wasn't following like a strict hair growth regimen or schedule. It was just, these times would coincide with like school breaks where I could have time to do my hair. If I'm being completely honest, I wasn't paying attention to the length of my hair at all during college because I was just focused on school. I think I have like one photo from sophomore year that shows like the in-between length, but I honestly was not tracking at all. But you can see my hair is like about at my shoulders. And then after my junior year, I knew I was going to live in an apartment and I could finally do my hair and feel comfortable doing wash days and stuff again. So I took my hair down and I realized that my hair was at my butt. I have a video of like the exact moment I found out about this. And that's literally my whole hair journey. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't even do it on purpose. It kind of just happened. But when I started making content, I began to think more deeply about the things that I was doing to my hair. And I do have a list of why I think what I did worked for me. Also, I know there are going to be some people who comment and say that this crazy hair growth is just due to my genetics or something, but I showed you the pictures. In 4 years, my hair grew this much. And in 2 years, once I changed my routine, my hair grew this much. So I think if I had superhuman genetics, my hair would have grown more in the 4-year period than it did in the 2-year period. But it didn't. I really think this is just because of my routine that I accidentally developed. Okay, now that you guys know my backstory, you know my history, you know what I've been through with my hair, we can finally get into the routine that I grew my hair. And I'm using routine very deliberately because there are no products, there's no magic, it's just a routine that you have to be consistent with. So there are 3 main pillars to my length retention routine: low tension, low manipulation, and low heat. The first one, low manipulation, I define manipulation by the amount of time you physically have your hands in your hair. So this right here technically is manipulating my hair. When you put your hair up in a bun, that's manipulation. When you detangle your hair, that's manipulation. When you install a protective style, that's manipulation. And the idea is you want to minimize how much you're doing this, especially during the period that you're trying to grow your hair. For me, I avoided manipulating my hair a lot by putting it in those protective styles. So I wasn't touching my hair for 3 months, and then I would take it down, put another protective style in, not touch it for 3 months. This is extremely low manipulation. And when you have a protective style in, your ends are protected from rubbing against your bags or your clothes or the environment around you, which makes it even lower manipulation. When I do wear my hair out though, and I need to manipulate my hair more frequently, there are some things that I do to minimize the amount of manipulation I do. The first is just stretching my wash days. I wash my hair about every 2 weeks. I find that that's like the max that I can stretch my twist outs. This is like halfway through, and it still looks pretty good, I think. And when I detangle, I only use my fingers. Finger detangling is extremely important to learn for length retention because when you use brushes or tools, they can't like gently pull out knots or tangles. They're just going to snap off your hair. That's why I prefer finger detangling. It's way gentler. And this is especially important when you're taking down your hair. If you want to see how I take down my hair for length retention, check out my last video. Finger detangling is an easy way to have way less breakage in your hair. And you also want to avoid over detangling your hair. I don't feel like I need to be able to run a fine-tooth comb through each section of my hair when I'm detangling. Just once or twice with my fingers, I'm good. The second pillar is low tension. Tension is anytime you're pulling on your hair and it hurts. When you get braids done and you can't sleep, you can't like lay your head on your pillow because it hurts, that's tension. When your slick back gives you a headache or is pulling really hard, that's tension. Tension is really bad for length retention because unlike typical breakage, which occurs sort of to the ends of your hair, tension can rip your hair out at the root. Like the entire follicle of hair will come out, and this can lead to, at best, breakage, at worst, traction alopecia. So we really want to avoid high tension styles. When you're installing a protective style or thinking about getting a protective style, make sure it doesn't cause any pain whatsoever. As a general rule, if it hurts, it's not good for your hair. Also, make sure that you avoid any styles that have teeny tiny sections because this is putting a lot of tension on a really small part of your hair and it's going to rip it out. The analogy I like to use is carrying a bag of groceries using your whole hand versus just your pinky. It's going to hurt your pinky way more because it's a smaller surface area. So for me, whenever I do protective styles, I definitely go for medium to large parts because the tension will be distributed across a larger area than like teeny tiny parts. The last pillar is low heat. This one is kind of controversial. Some people swear that they can grow their hair with heat, but me personally, I'm never putting more heat than like blow drying my hair. And I'm not gonna lie and say that when I blow dry my hair to dry it, I'm using like the cool setting or whatever. No, I use high heat, high speed. But one thing you can do to minimize the amount of heat you're putting on your hair, if you have to blow dry your hair, is to do it in smaller sections. So for example, I do twist outs, and for every like twist out section, I'll dry it and then twist it and then go to the next section. Instead of what I used to do, which was do my whole twist and then try to dry the whole section. And I was blow drying for like 30 minutes. And one, they wouldn't even dry, and two, that's a lot of heat on your hair. Other things that I know you guys are going to ask me about in the comments: no, I didn't oil my scalp. I don't think I trimmed my hair that much during the initial period that I grew my hair. I definitely trim my hair more now, but I would say like every 6 months or so, roughly, I trim my hair. In conclusion, I'm not saying that you can never do any of these things again. You can never get a silk press. You can never get tiny box braids or whatever you want to do. But if you're really serious about growing your hair, what I would do is I would find a protective style like Marley twists that are low tension, low manipulation, and they don't require heat to install, and literally just spam that for like 2 years, every 3 months. And then once your hair is at a length that you like, you can do whatever you want. But in the period that you're trying to grow your hair, I would avoid high manipulation, high tension, high heat. But I'm just some girl. You can do whatever you want. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, feel free to ask me questions in the comments. I try to respond to everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Nuri the Doll. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!